Hey guys, Crikeyfell Railway here, and I'm here to do a bit of an editorial on a topic that bugs me a lot with a lot of the franchise. What's up with the facial inconsistencies? I mean, it's no secret that all the engines on the island of Sodor have faces. All the steam engines have them on their smokebox doors, and the diesels on their ends. However, there are many variations. For example, many of the long diesels have two faces at either end in the railway series, and their face is the same colour as their livery. For example, Boko. He has two faces at either end and his face is yellow in the railway series. But in the TV series, it is grey and only at one end. All the BR Class '08 diesels in the franchise, all 2 million of them, have their face at the front end, but one diesel in Enterprising Engines has it on his cab. Now to the steam engines. All of them have their face on their smokebox door, which brings up some disturbing imagery as to how the crew clean their smokebox. However, a few engines in Stepney the Bluebell engine have a plain black face to match the smokebox door. All the engines and rolling stock in the TV series have grey faces. To keep it consistent, the only exceptions of this are Annie, Clarabelle, the slip coaches, the troublesome trucks in Season 1, and Harold the helicopter. The longer diesels with two cabs at each end in the railway series have two faces at each end as well. This is probably to signify that they can be controlled at either end. On the contrary, Toby the tram engine has always had one grey face at one end of him, when he has two cabs. He is frequently driven from his non-face cab in the show. Apart from Rom Railway Series book, Toby has always had one face. Then we get to the mountain engines. They have two faces at each end. The front face on the smokebox door is grey like a normal steam engine face, but the back face is purple to match the livery. Why is one face grey but the other is purple? If the back face was grey, or the front face was black, this problem could have been solved. Now everyone might be wondering why I'm the only one bothered by this. Turns out Wilbur Awdry had a set of rules on the personalities of locomotives. According to the Thomas the Tank Engine Wikia, Christopher Awdry and Clive Spong broke this rule in Thomas and the Great Railway Show, which contains a large number of facial inconsistencies. Wilbur Awdry's rule was that no engine can have a face, unless on Sodor. The majority of the engines in the museum have a grey face, as they are all steam engines. One engine, however, called Mallard, has a black face to match his streamlined covering. As Mallard is a steam engine, his face should be on the smokebox. An engine of the same class as him, called Spencer in the TV series, has a grey face like every other character. Another engine, called Iron Duke, is a replica of an older locomotive. This Iron Duke, however, has a moustache, the only engine to ever have one. This is presumably to signify that he is old, but he is not. He is a replica, not the original locomotive. The original was built in 1847. The replica was built in 1985, making him younger than the majority of all the engines. Another engine, called Rocket, is a replica of an engine from 1829, and he doesn't even have a face. Another engine based off him in the TV series has a grey face, but this one is based off Rocket's later build, which actually has room for a face. So I guess you could argue that there was no room for a face on Rocket. The rolling stock is another story. In the railway series, they all have faces coloured to match their livery, while in the TV series, excluding Season 1, they all have grey faces. In both continuities, some rolling stock have faces, while many don't, for no particular reason. It appears that in the railway series, when an engine without a face comes to Sodor, they magically gain a face through an unexplained method. Wilbert nor Christopher never went into detail on how faces work in the Thomas universe, but I clearly am, and I just don't get it.